So birria is one thing you cannot just make on the fly.
Yeah, you can't half-ass birria, basically.
Yeah, there's no way. And that's why once you run out, you run out. This has a whole process that you have to respect, and that is what it is. It's like a ritual.
There's even times where we put music and we play music for the birria. You know, sometimes we're on that time crunch and we're like, oh, we have an hour for the event. The birria is not ready. Crank up the music.
You know, it gets us hyped up. We like to think that it gets the birria hyped up.
It gets the birria hyped up too, and we're like, usually it works. So I met him when I was like 17 years old. I was dating his sister.
When I first met him, I hated him. And I mean, you know, I would have hated anybody that was dating my baby sister, you know? Then I tasted his food and I was like, well, maybe we can work something out with this, you know what I mean?
I told him one day, like, if you want to go do it, go buy a truck and you bring it to me, I'll open a business with you. And this guy's crazy, so he did it. And this is a special cut that we get for our birria, which is a shoulder cloth that we use. It has some nice fat layer on it, which is what we want. And then we're gonna cut it into pretty big pieces because we don't want it to fall apart too easily in the pot. We're gonna get our adobo from the fridge. Put some bay leaves in there. So in this marinade, we have two different types of chiles, California and Guajillo. The chilies are not for heat, they're for flavor. And then our secret spices, really fragrant aromatic spices. Some of them are cinnamon, ginger, and pepper.
It's like making love to it, right? Like you're pretty much giving it a nice massage. Yeah, you wanna make sure you get it really, really thorough.
So we're gonna let this marinate for at least 24 hours. And we cook it at slow temp. So typically it takes between 5 to 7 hours. We're gonna repeat the process of the marination. We're gonna add some more, garlic in there for extra flavor. Salt. And then some bay leaves, and then some of our, secret spices. Okay, so from here, we're gonna carry it over to the fire. And I don't want to put too much liquid because the fat from the meat's gonna start releasing its own juices. And that's it. We're gonna just wait. It's at 3 or 4 hours. So now we're gonna move on to our red salsa, which is the birria salsa. 3 ingredients: chiles de árbol, and then our Roma tomatoes, which were the garlics, and same thing. Just we're gonna toast our chiles, and it's important that you fry them first. So now the tomatoes are, nice.
Smell.
That's to say, the smell. Like you get that charred smell. It's about a cup. And there's the first thing that goes in the blender. Just now, I'm gonna throw in some of our birria spice in the salsa as well. I'm taking it out of the steam wrap, just so it'd be a little easier to blend. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and blend this. So I got the garlic, the tomatoes, the onions in there. Our spices are already in there. Okay. I'm gonna blend it up, and then we're gonna see what consistency it gets first. And this is gonna be the birria salsa. This right here is the onions that we just chopped up and started pickling. The acid from the limes and the onion, it breaks through the fatness of the birria. This is what's gonna go on our tacos. Now I'm gonna go show you the birria that we started this morning. So it's gonna be super flavorful.
So this one's not ready yet. It's missing a couple hours still. This one's completely done, so it's sunk to the bottom of the pot. We'll bring this out, test it out. If you could just break it with your bare hands like that.
That's what we're looking for. But we try not to break them apart either, because we want it to stay whole.
We don't want it to dry out, so we grab a little bit of consommé, fattier part of the consommé, we put it on top.
This is gold right here. This is the pure vitamin, la pura vitamina. I realized that the way to go is going back to Mexico, and like for us, we're DACA recipients, so we can't go back there, as like we don't have the privilege like other people do. So this is kind of like keeping us connected to our culture, And we're gonna start off with La Finca tortillas. We only use La Finca, so that's another thing we take pride in using local vendors. Dip them in our secret oil.
It tastes like home.
It tastes like home. You know, they know what we're expecting. So right now we're getting our birria. It's like, you know, it's nice and tender. You don't even need to chop it up, but we still, you know, give it a couple whacks with the machetazos, we call it. It's a big cleaver. We always layer the flavor on top of each other, like Victor said. So a little more consommé goes back in there. You get your birria, and then start throwing the onion cilantro in there. We're going with that pickled onion, cilantro, and then our red salsa. This is the birria salsa, and that one goes inside. They're getting crispy, but they're not burning. And you know, you don't want it to be, you want it to be in between. So right now you see the tortilla starting to like lift up.
The cheese is also melting. The tortilla is not burning, but it's getting that crispiness and crunchiness around the rim of the tortilla. Damn, that looks good. All right, so we're good. Let's get to work. So what you do, grab your taco, dip it in the consommé. Here we go. Dip it in the salsa. Yep, fire.
I always dip mine in the green salsa first, but it was just me.
There's no way of doing it. No right way of doing it. It's kind of like, first you try it, then you taste one flavor, then you taste another, and then bam, the last one hits you. You know, just the spiciness hits you at the end. You're like, whoa, okay. So it's good, it's really good. You know, coming to the States from Mexico at age 13, and you know, it was hard to assimilate. When I first started working, I didn't even know that I didn't have a social security number. I didn't even know what that was, you know. So I ended up using a fake name, fake social. I ended up getting fired after like a few weeks because they found out. And that's pretty much what I did for 15 years of my life.
My mom worked in the fields, and most of my family did as well. So it was kind of like this thing that my parents always put in your head, you know, you don't want to be like us, you don't want to be out in the sun, you know, do something better, you know, go to school, do this. When I started in restaurants, I was really young. I remember the first restaurant, I lied about my age. Ever since then, the manager from there just, I guess, saw something in me, and they took me under their wing. And
you know, there's this program called the DACA, which is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, which really opened up, you know, the door for me to be able to do something with my life, you know, to actually get a real job, a good job where I didn't have to show, where I didn't have to hide behind, you know, in the shadows. And I could actually use my real name for the first time. I started building credit, you know, just, I started feeling like a true American, you know?
thank you.
I valued this experience a lot. It was an older gentleman, parents, set of parents. They hadn't gone back to Mexico in 20, 30 years. And they tasted our food. He was like, hey dude, like, I was able to taste the flavors as if I was in Mexico. So it was like, you have that ratatouille moment, you know, like in the movie when you taste it and you get that flashback to your childhood, you know what I mean? So that right there, to me was, we're doing it, we're doing good.